She pressed send with shaking fingers, blood smeared across the cracked screen, and in that moment she had no idea she had just texted the most dangerous creature in the city. The message was simple. Desperate. 3 words and a name. Jesse broke my ribs. But Jess never got that text. Someone else did. And he was already on his way. Now before we dive into this story, I need to ask you something real quick. Where in the world are you watching this from? Seriously, drop your city or country in the comments because I love knowing that our community is global. Whether you are curled up in bed in London, commuting in Lagos, or hiding under your blankets in Los Angeles, you are part of something special here. And listen, if you have not hit that subscribe button yet, this is your sign. Join the fastest growing vampire love stories community on YouTube. We have so much planned for you, and trust me, you do not want to miss what is coming next. You are not just a viewer here. You are family. Now let us get back to Mira, because her night is about to change forever. Mira sat on the cold bathroom floor, her back pressed against the locked door, every breath a sharp reminder of what Tyler had done. Again. The tiles were hard beneath her, unforgiving, but she barely noticed. Pain had become a familiar companion over the past 8 months. This time was different though. This time she heard something crack. Her phone screen was spiderwebbed from where it had hit the wall during the fight, but it still glowed in the darkness. She scrolled to Jess's name, her best friend, the only person who knew pieces of the truth. Her vision blurred with tears as she typed. Jesse broke my ribs. She hit send and let the phone drop into her lap. Outside the door, she heard Tyler pacing, his footsteps heavy, angry. He was muttering to himself. He always did that after. Justifying. Blaming. In an hour, he would cry. In 2, he would beg forgiveness. By morning, he would buy her flowers. She knew the cycle by heart. What she did not know was that autocorrect had changed Jess to Jessie, and the message had gone to a number she had briefly saved weeks ago from a flyer at a coffee shop. A community helpline. Except she had typed it wrong. 1 digit off. Her phone buzzed. She lifted it slowly, expecting Jess's usual response, the careful concern, the offer to come over that Mira would refuse like always. Instead, she saw an unknown number. And 4 words that stopped her heart. I will end him. 2 miles across the city, in a penthouse that overlooked the glittering chaos of the downtown core, Kieran stood by the floor-to-ceiling window, a glass of dark red liquid in his hand. Not wine. Never wine. The night spread before him like a kingdom he no longer cared to rule. He was ancient, powerful, feared, and utterly empty. 500 years of existence had taught him many things, but purpose was not one of them. He had lost that centuries ago, along with everyone he had ever cared for. Now he simply endured. The vampire covens reported to him, the supernatural community respected his authority, and he went through the motions of leadership with the enthusiasm of a man already dead. His phone sat on the glass table behind him, a modern concession he barely tolerated. It buzzed. He ignored it. It buzzed again. With a sigh that held decades of exhaustion, he picked it up. Unknown number. He nearly deleted it. But some instinct honed over lifetimes, made him open it. Jesse broke my ribs. 4 words. A stranger's pain, sent to him by mistake. He should have ignored it. Should have deleted it and returned to his vigil by the window. But the message sat there, raw and desperate, and something in his chest that had not moved in a century suddenly tightened. He saw it clearly in his mind. A woman. Hurt. Alone. Afraid. And someone who thought they had the right to break her. His fingers moved before his mind caught up. I will end him. He hit send and immediately began tracing the number. Mira stared at the screen until the words blurred. I will end him. Not who is this? Not are you okay? Not I'm calling the police. I will end him. There was something in those 4 words that felt less like a threat and more like a promise. Something absolute. Final. Her hands trembled as she typed back. Wrong number. Sorry. She watched the 3 dots appear immediately. He was still there. Still typing. Not wrong enough. Where are you? She should have stopped. Should have blocked the number and called Jess on the landline Tyler always forgot to check. But there was something in the directness of this stranger, something that cut through the fog of pain and fear. He asked where she was like he actually intended to do something about it. Tyler's footsteps had stopped outside the door. She heard the floorboards creak as he sat down, his back probably against the wall. Waiting her out. He knew she would come out eventually. She always did. I can't, she typed. I'm fine. Forget I texted. The response was instant. You said he broke your ribs. That is not fine. Give me an address. Who are you? She wrote, her heart hammering against those possibly broken ribs. The pause was longer this time. Then, someone who keeps promises. Kieran had not felt his pulse quicken in 200 years, but something close to it moved through him now. Not quite alive, but no longer dormant. He had traced the number to a cell tower on the east side. Residential area. Lower income. Old houses converted to apartments. His fingers flew across his laptop, accessing systems he had long ago installed throughout the city. Traffic cameras. Security feeds. Property records. He should not care this much about a stranger. But that message, those words, they had cracked something open in him. He had been a protector once. A king who stood between his people and every threat that came for them. Before the betrayals. Before the slaughter. Before he learned that caring was just another word for losing. His phone buzzed. Why do you care? 3 words. A question he had just asked himself. He looked out at the city, at all the fragile human lives flickering in the darkness, and typed the only honest answer he had. I do not know yet. But I do. Another buzz. Maple Street. 2471, apartment 3. But please do not come. He will get worse if anyone comes. Kieran was already moving toward the door, pulling on his black coat. He typed as he walked. He will never touch you again. I am 10 minutes away. He did not tell her that he could make it in 3. Mira's breath caught. This was insane. She was giving her address to a complete stranger based on 4 words and a feeling she could not name. But Jess was an hour away on a good night. Her family had stopped believing her excuses years ago. The police had come twice and both times she had covered for Tyler, terrified of what he would do after they left. This stranger did not ask if she wanted help. He simply said he was coming. Tyler's voice came through the door, softer now, laced with tears. Baby, please. I am so sorry. I did not mean it. You know I love you. She closed her eyes. She had heard these words 100 times. Had believed them for 90 of those. Her phone buzzed. Is he still there? Yes. Stay in the locked room. Do not open the door for him. Only for me. How will I know it is you? I will knock 3 times. And I will say your name. She had not told him her name. Her fingers shook as she typed. "You do not know my name." The response came as she heard a sound in the distance that might have been thunder but wasn't. Footsteps. Fast. Impossibly fast. Coming closer. "Then tell me, so I can say it when I arrive." She typed 2 words. "It's Mira." And then she heard it. The sound of the downstairs door opening. No buzz. No break-in. Just open. Tyler heard it too. His voice changed instantly, hardened. "You called someone?" She did not answer. Footsteps on the stairs. Steady. Unhurried. But each one sounded like inevitability. Tyler scrambled to his feet. "Who the hell is that?" Mira pressed herself further against the door, pain shooting through her side. Then she heard it. 3 knocks. Firm. Certain. And a voice like midnight and smoke. "Mira. Open the door." Myra's hand hovered over the lock. Everything in her body screamed contradiction. Fear. Hope. Shame. Relief. She had invited a stranger to her home. To save her from another stranger who had stopped being a stranger 3 years ago when he bought her coffee and told her she had the most beautiful smile he had ever seen. Tyler's voice cracked through her hesitation. "Mira, do not open that door." It was his serious voice. The one that came before consequences. But the voice on the other side of the door spoke again, and it was calm, almost gentle. "You are safe now. Let me in." She turned the lock. The door opened 6 inches before Tyler grabbed her wrist and yanked her backward. She gasped as pain exploded through her rib cage, white-hot and blinding. The door slammed open. Kieran filled the doorway. Mira had not known what to expect. Maybe someone large and brutal looking. A fighter. Scarred and mean. Instead, she saw a man who looked carved from marble in moonlight. Tall, perfectly still, with dark hair and eyes that were not quite human. He wore an expensive coat and moved with the kind of grace that made the cramped apartment hallway look even smaller. Those eyes found Tyler's hand on her wrist. And something in the air changed. Let her go. It was not a request. Tyler's grip tightened instead, his face flushing red. "Who the hell are you?" "This is my home. My girlfriend. Get out before I call the cops." Kieran stepped inside, and though he did not rush, did not threaten, Tyler took an involuntary step back, pulling Mira with him. She whimpered as her ribs screamed. Kieran stopped moving. His voice dropped to something quiet and infinitely more dangerous. "You have 3 seconds to remove your hand from her arm. After that, I remove it for you. I'm not afraid of you, man." Tyler's voice shook. "This is breaking and entering. She is my girlfriend. We had a fight. It is none of your business." Kieran's eyes finally left Tyler and found Mira's. "Do you want me to leave?" It was the first time anyone had asked her what she wanted in 8 months. Her voice came out broken, barely a whisper. "No. Please do not leave." Tyler's face twisted. "Are you serious right now? You called some random guy to our home? After everything I do for you?" Kieran had seen a lot of evil in 5 centuries. He had watched wars, betrayals, massacres. He had committed some of them himself in darker years. But there was something particularly vile about a man who broke a woman and then blamed her for bleeding. He crossed the remaining distance between them in less than a heartbeat. One moment he was by the door. The next his hand was around Tyler's throat, lifting him off the ground, slamming him against the wall hard enough to crack the drywall. Tyler's hand released Mira instantly. Kieran held him there, suspended, watching the fear flood into the man's eyes. He could kill him. It would take less effort than breathing. One squeeze. Done. But Mira was watching. And he had not asked her what she wanted yet. He glanced at her, still holding Tyler against the wall with one hand. "Tell me what you want me to do with him." Mira stood frozen, one arm wrapped around her ribs, tears streaming down her face. I do not." Kieran's voice softened, but his grit did not. "There is no wrong answer, Mira." Tyler wheezed, clawing at Kieran's hand uselessly. She looked at Tyler. At the man she had loved. The man who had slowly turned into her nightmare. "I want him gone. I want him to never come back. I want to never be afraid again." Kieran nodded once. He leaned close to Tyler, his voice dropping to a whisper only the dying and the desperate could hear. "You will leave this city tonight. You will not contact her, speak of her, or think of her again. If I hear your name, if I catch even a whisper of you within 100 miles of her, I will find you. And what I do to you will make you beg for the mercy of death. Do you understand me?" Tyler's eyes had gone wide, and not just from lack of air. He was seeing something now. Something in Kieran's eyes that was not human. Not even close. He managed a jerky nod. Kieran released him. Tyler collapsed to the floor, gasping, and then scrambled toward the door on his hands and knees. He did not look back. Did not grab clothes or keys or anything. He just ran. They heard his footsteps thundering down the stairs, then the downstairs door slam. Then silence. Kieran turned to Mira. She was staring at him like he was a myth come to life. "What are you?" she whispered. Kieran did not answer immediately. He was watching her carefully, the way a predator assesses prey, except there was no hunger in his gaze. Only concern. "You are hurt. Let me see." Mira instinctively stepped back, wincing as the movement sent fresh pain through her torso. "I am fine. Thank you for whatever that was. For helping. But I am okay now." It was a lie and they both knew it. Kieran tilted his head slightly. "You told me he broke your ribs. That requires a hospital. I cannot afford." He cut her off with a raised hand. "Money is not an issue. But hospitals ask questions. File reports. And you are not ready for that yet. Are you?" She looked away. He was right. She could not face the police reports, the photographs, the questions about why she stayed so long. "I have someone who can help. Discreet. Safe. But not here." Mira wrapped her arms tighter around herself. "I do not even know you. I cannot just leave with you. You texted me for help. I texted the wrong number. And yet I came. And he is gone. And you are still hurt." The logic was infuriating and comforting at the same time. She looked around the apartment. Tyler's jacket still hung on the back of the chair. His coffee mug sat on the counter. The dent in the wall from last month. The stain on the carpet from the month before. This place was a museum of pain. "If I go with you," she said slowly, "where exactly are we going?" "Somewhere safe. My home. Just until you are healed and can decide what comes next." "Your home." "Yes." She laughed, a brittle sound edged with hysteria. "Said every serial killer ever." Kieran's lips twitched. It might have been a smile. If I wanted to hurt you, Mira, I would not have thrown him out first. Fair point. She took a shaky breath and immediately regretted it as her ribs protested. Kieran noticed. He noticed everything. You are in significant pain. We need to leave now. What are you? She asked again. You moved so fast. You lifted him like he weighed nothing. Your eyes, they are not normal. He regarded her for a long moment. If I tell you, you may be more afraid of me than you were of him. She met his gaze, this impossible stranger who had come when no one else did. Try me. I am very old. Very dangerous. And not entirely human. That is incredibly vague. He stepped closer. Not threatening. Just close enough that she could see the unnatural stillness of him. The way his chest did not rise and fall with breath. The way the dim light seemed to bend around him. I am what your stories call a vampire. What my kind calls a king. And I have not cared about a human life in over 200 years. But tonight, for reasons I do not yet understand, I care about yours. The words should have sent her running. Instead, she felt the strangest sense of relief. So you are not going to kill me. No. Or drink my blood. Not without permission. And not tonight. That should not have been comforting. But somehow it was. Okay, she said quietly. Okay. Let's go. Hey, can I just pause the story for 1 second because I need to know something? How are you feeling right now? Are you hooked? Are you feeling what Mira is feeling? Drop a comment and tell me, would you have left with Kieran or stayed in that apartment? I am genuinely curious what you would do because this moment right here, this is where everything changes for her. And listen, if you are still not subscribed, I'm going to take that personally. I stayed up way too late writing this for you. Just hit the button. Join the family. We are building something beautiful here and you are part of it. Alright, let us get back to it because Kieran is about to take Mira somewhere she has never been, and the night is far from over. Kieran's penthouse was nothing like Mira expected. She had imagined something cold. Gothic. All dark wood and ancient artifacts. Instead, it was modern, minimalist, with floor-to-ceiling windows that overlooked the city like a sky full of fallen stars. Everything was clean lines and muted colors. Comfortable. Almost warm. He guided her to a leather couch and she sank into it gratefully. Wait here. He disappeared down a hallway and returned moments later with a woman who looked to be in her 60s, carrying a medical bag. This is Dr. Hassan. She works with our community. She will examine you. Mira tensed. Our community. The supernatural community. She is human, but she knows what we are. And she can be trusted. Dr. Hassan smiled kindly. Let us take a look at you, dear. 20 minutes later, Dr. Hassan confirmed 2 cracked ribs, severe bruising, and instructed strict rest. No breaks, thankfully. But you will be in pain for weeks. No strenuous activity. I will leave pain medication and come back in 3 days to check on you. She left with a meaningful look at Kieran, who nodded. When they were alone again, Mira finally asked the question that had been building. Why are you doing this? Kieran stood by the window, his back to her. I have been asking myself the same thing. And? He turned to face her. And I think perhaps I was waiting for something to matter again. She should not have understood that. But she did. The first night passed in silence and pain medication. Mira slept in a guest room that was larger than her entire apartment. The sheets were soft, impossibly soft, and she dreamed of nothing for the first time in months. When she woke, pale morning light filtered through curtains she did not remember closing. There was a glass of water on the nightstand, fresh clothes folded on a chair, and the smell of coffee drifting from somewhere distant. She moved slowly, every breath a reminder of what Tyler had done. What Tyler had been doing for months while she made excuses and believed apologies. She found Kieran in the kitchen, standing over a coffee maker with the expression of a man who had never used one before. "You do not drink coffee," she said from the doorway. He glanced at her. "No. But you do. I had groceries delivered this morning." She stared at him. "You bought groceries? For me? You need to eat. Healing requires nutrition." He said it like it was obvious. Like caring for a stranger was just something people did. She walked slowly to the counter and sat on one of the tall stools. "Can I ask you something?" "You may ask anything." "How old are you?" "Really?" He poured coffee into a mug and slid it toward her. 537 years. Give or take a decade. Time becomes imprecise after a while. She wrapped her hands around the warm mug, processing that number. "And you have been alone this whole time?" His jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. "Not always." She waited. He was silent for a long moment, and she thought he would not answer. Then he moved to the window, that same spot where he seemed most comfortable, looking out at a world he was both part of and apart from. Her name was Elise. 300 years ago. She was human. Kind. Stubborn beyond reason. What happened to her? I happened to her. Mira set down the mug. You killed her? No. Worse. I loved her. And because I loved her, she became a target for my enemies. They took her to hurt me. By the time I found her, he did not finish. He did not have to. I buried her in a garden she loved. And I swore I would never allow myself to care for a human again. Caring is a liability. Attachment is a weakness others exploit. Mira felt tears prick her eyes. Not for herself. For him. That was 300 years ago. You have been alone since then? I have been surrounded by my kind. Covens. Politics. Power struggles. But alone? Yes. She thought about her own loneliness. The way Tyler had isolated her from friends, from family. The way she had slowly become invisible to everyone, including herself. I know something about that, she said quietly. Being surrounded by people and still being completely alone. Kieran turned to look at her. Tell me. She did not plan to tell him everything. But something about him, about the stillness, the patience, the complete absence of judgment, made the words spill out. She told him about meeting Tyler at a bookstore. How charming he had been. How attentive. How he made her feel like the only person in the world. She told him about the first time he grabbed her arm too hard. How she had made excuses. Just stressed from work. Did not mean it. She told him about the slow escalation. The broken phone. The locked doors. The threats if she tried to leave. She told him about her mother who said she was being dramatic. Her sister who stopped calling. Her best friend Jess who tried to help but could not reach her anymore. I became a ghost, she said, staring into her coffee. I was alive but not living. Just surviving. Day to day. Waiting for something to change. What did you think would change? She laughed bitterly. I used to imagine he would just stop. Wake up one day and be the person he was when we met. But that person never existed, did he? It was just a mask. Kieran shook his head slowly. Predators are skilled at masks. It is how they hunt. She looked up at him. You would know. Being a predator yourself. He held her gaze. Yes. I would know. Which is why I recognized what he was the moment I read your message. You did not text me about a fight with your boyfriend. You texted me a cry for help from a woman being slowly destroyed. She wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. I thought I was weak. For staying so long. For not leaving sooner. Kieran moved closer. Not touching her. Just close enough that she could feel his presence like a wall between her and everything that had hurt her. Leaving is not simple when the cage is made of fear. When the lock is made of threats. You are not weak, Mira. You survived. And now you are here. And he is gone. Because of you. Because you sent that message. Because some part of you was still fighting. She had not thought of it that way. Can I ask you something now? She said. He nodded. Why did you come? Really? A stranger's text in the middle of the night. You could have ignored it. You probably should have. Kieran was quiet for a long moment. I was standing at my window, he said finally. Looking at the city. Thinking about how many nights I have stood in that exact spot. Hundreds. Thousands. Watching humans live and die and struggle and love. All of it meaning nothing to me. Just noise. And then my message arrived. And then your message arrived. And I read those words, he broke my ribs, and something cracked open in me. Something I thought was dead. What was it? He met her eyes. Rage. Purpose. The need to protect something. Someone. I had forgotten what that felt like. To have something worth protecting. She did not know what to say to that. So she said nothing. But something shifted in the space between them. Something fragile and new. That evening, Mira found a room she had not noticed before. The door was slightly open, and curiosity pulled her toward it despite the pain in her ribs. Inside was a study lined with books older than her country. A desk covered in papers. And on the wall, a painting. A woman with dark hair and kind eyes, wearing clothes from another century. Elise. Kieran's voice came from behind her. She did not jump. Somehow she had known he was there. I should not have come in here. I am sorry. It is all right. He walked past her and stood before the painting. I commissioned this after she died. From memory. The artist was gifted. He captured her exactly. She was beautiful. She was everything. Mira looked at the painting, then at Kieran. You kept this for 300 years. I kept everything. Every letter she wrote me. Every gift she gave me. Every memory. That is not moving on. No. It is not. He turned to face her. But perhaps it is time to finally try. The days began to blur together in the best way possible. Mira healed slowly, her ribs transitioning from sharp agony to dull ache. Dr. Hassan came twice more, pleased with her progress, leaving vitamin supplements and strict instructions to rest. But rest was not the same as stillness. Kieran, she discovered, was terrible at being human. On the third morning, she found him staring at the toaster like it had personally offended him. "It is burning the bread," he said flatly. "That is what toasters do. You have to adjust the setting." She reached past him and turned the dial. Their arms brushed. He went very still. "Sorry," she said quickly. "Do not apologize." There was something in his voice. Something that made her wonder when the last time was that anyone had touched him casually. Without fear. Without agenda. She pulled out the toast, slightly burned on one side. "See? Still edible." He looked at the toast, then at her. "You are teaching a 500-year-old vampire how to make breakfast. Someone has to. You clearly missed that lesson somewhere in the last few centuries." His lips twitched. It might have been a smile. By the 5th day, she had discovered several things about Kieran. He read constantly, consuming books the way humans consumed television. History. Philosophy. Poetry. She once found him reading a romance novel and nearly choked on her coffee. "Research," he said without looking up. "Sure it is." He did not deny it. He played piano. Beautifully. She heard him one night when she could not sleep, following the sound to a room she had not explored. He sat at a grand piano, his fingers moving across the keys with the ease of someone who had practiced for lifetimes. She listened from the doorway until the piece ended. That was beautiful. He turned. "I did not hear you approach. Maybe you were distracted." He considered this. "Perhaps I was." She walked closer, her bare feet silent on the wooden floor. "Will you teach me? You want to learn piano?" "I want to learn something new. Something that has nothing to do with my old life." He moved over on the bench, making room. She sat beside him, acutely aware of the lack of space between them. "Here." He took her hand and placed her fingers on the keys. "This is middle C." His hand was cool but not cold. Solid. Real. She pressed the key and a single note rang out. "Now what?" "Now we build from there. One note at a time." She glanced at him. "Is that a metaphor?" "Perhaps." "Okay, I need to stop right here and just say something. If you are watching this and feeling something right now, if your heart is doing that little flutter thing, I see you. I feel it too. And I need you to do me a favor. Hit that like button because honestly, scenes like this take everything out of me to write. The tension. The softness. The way two broken people slowly learn to trust each other. This is why I make these videos. And if you have not subscribed yet, I genuinely do not understand what you are waiting for. We are building something beautiful here. A community of people who love these stories as much as I love creating them. So join us. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Because I promise you, the best is yet to come. Now let us get back to Mira and Kieran, because this moment, this peace they are finding, it is not going to last. On the 7th night, they sat together by the window. The city sparkled below them, millions of lives unfolding in the darkness. "Can I ask you something personal?" Mira said. "You have asked me many personal things. One more." He nodded. "Do you miss being human?" Kieran was quiet for a long moment. "I do not remember being human. Not clearly. It has been too long. I remember fragments. The taste of bread. The warmth of sunlight. The feeling of a heartbeat in my chest. But they are like dreams now. Faded. Uncertain. Do you wish you could go back?" He looked at her. "I used to. For centuries, I wished for mortality. For an end. For peace. But recently... Recently what? He seemed to struggle with the words. Recently I have begun to wonder if immortality might have a purpose after all. If perhaps I was waiting for something. Or someone. The air between them thickened. Mira swallowed. Kieran. I am not asking anything of you. He said it quickly. You are healing. You are safe here. That is all that matters. But there is something between us. I am not imagining it. No. You are not imagining it. She turned to face him fully. I have known you for a week. I just escaped an abusive relationship. I should not be feeling anything right now except trauma and fear. What do you feel instead? She thought about it. Really thought. Safe. Seen. Like I am waking up after being asleep for years. He reached out slowly, giving her every opportunity to pull away, and brushed a strand of hair from her face. You deserve to feel that way. Always. Not just here. What if I want it to be here? What if I want it to be with you? Mira. I know it is too fast. I know I am probably just grateful and confused and projecting. But when I am with you, I feel like myself again. Like the person I was before Tyler. Before everything. He cupped her face in his hands. Cool palms against warm cheeks. I have waited 300 years to feel something again. I can wait longer. However long you need. And if I do not want to wait, then we go slowly. One note at a time. She laughed softly. You used my own metaphor against me. It was a good metaphor. She leaned into his touch, closing her eyes. For the first time in months, she felt like tomorrow might be something to look forward to instead of something to survive. Later that night, she dreamed of a garden. Elisa's garden. The one Kieran had described. And in the dream, a woman with dark hair and kind eyes turned to look at her. Take care of him, the woman said. He has been alone too long. Mira woke with tears on her face and a strange sense of peace. Like a blessing had been given. Like permission had been granted. It happened on the 10th night. Mira was alone in the penthouse. Kieran had left for what he called coven business, promising to return within a few hours. She had grown comfortable in his absence. Reading his books. Playing clumsy scales on the piano. Making tea in a kitchen that still confused him but had become familiar to her. She did not hear the elevator open. She did not hear the footsteps until they were too close. Miss me? Tyler stood in the doorway of the kitchen. He looked different. Wilder. There were dark circles under his eyes and his clothes were wrinkled, like he had not slept or changed in days. How did you find me? Her voice came out steadier than she felt. Tyler smiled. It was not a pleasant smile. You think I did not notice when you saved that freak's number? You think I did not see you texting someone that night? I have been watching this building for a week. Waiting for him to leave. He stepped closer. Who is he, Mira? Your new boyfriend? Found someone with money this time? You need to leave. Right now. Or what? You will call him? I am not afraid of your new monster boyfriend. I have been doing research. Talked to some people. Found out some very interesting things about what lives in this city. Mira's blood ran cold. What are you talking about? Vampires. Tyler laughed, a high unhinged sound. I thought the guy who told me was crazy. But then I started noticing things. The way your boyfriend moved. The way his eyes looked. He is not human, is he? Tyler, please. Just leave. I will not tell anyone you came here. Just go. I am not going anywhere without you. He grabbed her arm and she cried out as his fingers dug into her flesh. You belong to me, Mira. You always have. Some freak with fangs does not change that. Let go of me. She tried to pull away, but he was stronger. He had always been stronger. We are going home. And you are going to forget this little vacation ever happened. And if you ever try to leave me again. He did not finish the sentence. He did not need to. She knew what came after that silence. The window behind them shattered. Glass exploded inward as a figure crashed through it, moving so fast Mira could not track the motion. One moment Tyler was gripping her arm. The next he was across the room, pinned to the wall by his throat, feet dangling above the floor. Kieran's face was inches from Tyler's. But it was not the face Mira knew. His eyes had turned completely black. No whites. No iris. Just endless darkness. His fangs were fully extended, long and sharp and terrible. His skin seemed paler, tighter, like the human mask had slipped away entirely. I warned you. His voice was not human either. It was layered, ancient, echoing with something that made Mira's bones vibrate. I told you what would happen if you came near her again. Tyler was making choking sounds, his face turning purple. Kieran's hand tightened. Kieran, stop. Mira did not realize she had screamed until the words were already out. He did not stop. Blood began to trickle from where his claws had punctured Tyler's neck. You will never touch her again. You will never touch anyone again. He is not worth it. Please. You are going to kill him. That is the point. Mira stumbled forward, ignoring the pain in her still healing ribs. Look at me. Kieran, look at me. He turned his head. Those black eyes found hers. And for a moment, she did not see the man who had taught her piano. The man who had held her face so gently. The man who had waited 300 years to feel something. She saw a monster. She saw death. She saw Tyler. Her face must have shown her fear because something flickered in those dark eyes. Something wounded. Please, she whispered. Do not become him. Do not become what he is. Kieran's grip loosened slightly. He broke your ribs. He terrorized you. He came here to take you back to that hell. I know. But if you kill him, you prove that violence is the answer. That power makes it right. That is what he believed. Is that what you believe too? The words hung in the air. Tyler slumped to the ground as Kieran released him, gasping and coughing. Kieran stared at Mira, his features slowly shifting back to something more human. The blackness receded from his eyes. The fangs retracted. But the damage was done. She had seen what he truly was. And she had flinched. Tyler scrambled to his feet and ran for the door, not looking back. They heard the elevator open and close. Then silence. Kieran stood motionless, blood on his hands. Mira was pressed against the counter, her heart pounding so hard she could hear it in her ears. Mira. Do not. Not right now. I would never hurt you. I know that. I think I know that. But what I just saw is what I am. She shook her head, tears spilling down her cheeks. I just escaped a man who used his strength to control me. who made me afraid every single day. And you almost. I was protecting you. You were enjoying it. The words hit him like a physical blow. She saw it in his face. The way he recoiled. The way something in his eyes shattered. I terrify you. It was not a question. She wanted to say no. Wanted to tell him she understood, that she was just scared from the adrenaline, that she knew he was different from Tyler. But the fear was real. And she could not lie to him. I do not know what I feel right now. I need space. I need to think. You are still healing. You have nowhere to go. I will call Jess. For real this time. Kieran nodded slowly. His face had gone completely blank. The mask was back. 300 years of isolation sliding into place like armor. I will have a car take you wherever you need to go. Kieran. You were right to be afraid. I am exactly what you saw. A monster wearing human clothes. I forgot that for a moment. Thank you for the reminder. That is not what I meant. But he was already walking away, disappearing into the shadows of the penthouse like he was made of them. She stood alone in the kitchen, glass crunching under her feet, Tyler's blood smeared on the wall. And she wondered if she had just made the worst mistake of her life. Jess's apartment smelled like lavender and worry. She had asked 100 questions in the first hour. About Tyler. About the stranger who had helped. About the broken ribs and the bruises and where Mira had been for the past 10 days. Mira answered some of them. Others she could not explain without sounding insane. He was a vampire is not exactly easy to slip into conversation. By the third day, the questions stopped. Jess seemed to understand that Mira needed space more than she needed interrogation. But space did not help. Space just gave her room to think. And all she could think about was Kieran. She replayed that night over and over. The shattered window. The inhuman speed. The black eyes and the fangs and the blood. The look on his face when she flinched. She had called him a monster without using the word. Had compared him to Tyler without meaning to. Had taken everything fragile and new between them and crushed it with her fear. But was she wrong to be afraid? She had watched him nearly kill a man with one hand. Had seen the pleasure in his face before she screamed. Had witnessed 500 years of predator instinct unleashed in a single moment. That was real. That was part of him. But so was the man who bought groceries he could not eat. Who taught her piano one note at a time. Who held her face like she was made of glass and told her he could wait forever. Which one was the real Kieran? Or were they both real? Could she love someone who contained that much darkness? Could she walk away from someone who had shown her that much light? On the fourth night, she could not sleep. She sat by Jess's window, looking out at a city that suddenly felt smaller than it had before. Her phone sat in her lap. She had typed and deleted the same message 17 times. I am sorry. Too simple. I was scared. Too obvious. I miss you. Too vulnerable. Please do not give up on me. Too desperate. She stared at the blank screen until her eyes burned. Then she typed something new. You asked me once what I wanted. I said I wanted to never be afraid again. But I think I was wrong. I think what I really want is someone worth being brave for. You terrify me, Kieran. Not because of what you are. Because of how much I feel when I am with you. I have never felt anything this big before. And big feelings are dangerous for someone like me. Someone who learned that love means pain. But I am starting to think that maybe love is not supposed to feel like survival. Maybe it is supposed to feel like coming home. You felt like coming home. And I ran away because that scared me more than your fangs ever could. I do not know if you will even read this. I do not know if I have already lost you. But I needed you to know that I am sorry. Not for being afraid. For making you think you were the thing I was afraid of. You are not Tyler. You never were. And I think maybe you are exactly what I have been waiting for. Even if I did not know I was waiting. She read it 3 times. Then she hit send before she could delete it again. The phone sat silent. Minutes passed. Then an hour. Mira set the phone face down and told herself it did not matter. That she had said what she needed to say. That his response, or lack of one, would not define her worth. She almost believed it. Across the city, in a penthouse that felt emptier than it had in centuries, Kieran stood at his window. He had not moved in 4 days. Had not eaten. Had not slept. Had not answered the calls from his coven or the messages from Dr. Hassan asking about Mira's recovery. He had simply stood there, watching the city lights blur and sharpen as the hours passed. Her face haunted him. Not the way she looked when she smiled. Not the way she looked when she sat beside him at the piano, her fingers clumsy on the keys. The way she looked when she saw what he really was. The fear. The recognition. The moment she realized he was no different from the man who had broken her ribs. He had spent 300 years building walls, convincing himself that isolation was safety, that caring was weakness, that love was just another word for loss. Mira had dismantled those walls in 10 days. And now he was paying the price. His phone buzzed. He ignored it. It was probably another coven matter. Another political dispute. Another reminder that his existence continued whether he wanted it to or not. It buzzed again. And again. With a sigh that carried the weight of centuries, he picked it up. Unknown number. No. Not unknown. Hers. His dead heart lurched. He opened the message. Read it once. Read it again. Read it a 3rd time, slower, letting each word sink in. You felt like coming home. His hand trembled. When was the last time his hand had trembled? I think maybe you are exactly what I have been waiting for. He closed his eyes. Okay, listen. I need to pause right here because this moment is everything. This is the moment where it all hangs in the balance. Will he respond? Will he let her back in? Will he choose vulnerability over protection? Before we find out, I need to ask you something. Have you ever sent a message like that? Have you ever put your whole heart into words and just hoped the other person would understand? Tell me in the comments because I know I am not the only one who has been there. And if this story is hitting you in the feels right now, do not you dare leave without subscribing. I mean it. We are in this together. You and me and everyone else in this community who believes that love stories matter. That healing is possible. That even monsters deserve second chances. Hit that subscribe button. Join the family. Now let us find out what Kieran does next. He typed 3 words. Deleted them. Typed 5 more. Deleted those 2. What could he possibly say that would be enough? That he had spent 4 days convincing himself she was better off without him? That every moment without her felt like drowning in slow motion? That he had lived 500 years and never felt as alive as he did when she laughed at his failed attempts to make toast? He looked at her message again. You are not Tyler. You never were. She was right. He was not Tyler. Tyler hurt her because he wanted control. Kieran had almost killed Tyler because he wanted to protect her. The methods looked the same, but the intention was everything. And maybe, just maybe, she understood that. He typed one final message. "Come home." He hit send. Then he waited. Mira saw the message and stopped breathing. 2 words. Come home. Not come back. Not we should talk. Not I forgive you. Come home. Like his penthouse was already hers. Like she belonged there. Like the past 4 days had just been a pause in a story that was still being written. She was out the door before Jess could ask where she was going. The elevator ride felt like hours. She watched the numbers climb, her heart racing faster with each floor. What if he had changed his mind? What if she got there and he was cold again? What if the walls were back up and she could not find her way through? The doors opened. Kieran stood in the middle of the living room, exactly where she had first seen him hold Tyler against the wall. The glass had been replaced. The blood had been cleaned. But the memory hung in the air between them. He looked at her. She looked at him. Neither moved. "You came," he said. "You asked me to. I was not sure you would." She stepped out of the elevator, her legs unsteady. "I was not sure either. Until I was already in the cab. And then I knew." "Knew what?" "That being afraid of loving you was worse than being afraid of what you are." He closed his eyes briefly, and when he opened them, something had shifted. The guardedness was gone. The mask had fallen. He looked raw. Vulnerable. Almost human. "I should not have let you see that side of me. Not like that. Not when you were already healing from." "Stop." She crossed the room. Slowly. Deliberately. Giving him time to see that she was choosing this. Choosing him. She stopped inches away. "You are not two separate people, Kieran. The man who makes terrible toast and the vampire who almost killed Tyler. They are both you. And I do not get to love one without accepting the other. You would accept that? The darkness? I have my own darkness. We all do. The difference is what we do with it. You stopped when I asked you to. Tyler never stopped. Not once. That is the difference. That is everything." He reached out, his hand hovering near her face, not quite touching. "I have waited 300 years to feel something again. And then you texted the wrong number and changed everything." She laughed, a sound caught between a sob and joy. "Best wrong number I ever dialed." He cupped her face then, his cool palms against her warm cheeks, exactly like he had that night by the window. "I will spend the rest of my existence protecting you. Cherishing you. Learning how to be worthy of the trust you are giving me. And I will spend mine teaching you how to use a toaster." He laughed. It was the first time she had heard him truly laugh. It sounded like centuries of loneliness finally breaking apart. He kissed her then. Gentle at first, like he was afraid she might shatter. Then deeper as she pulled him closer, her fingers gripping the front of his shirt, her body pressing against his. When they finally pulled apart, foreheads touching, breath mingling, she whispered the words that had started everything. "He broke my ribs." Kieran's arms tightened around her. "And I will spend forever helping you heal." She smiled against his lips. "I know. That is why I came home." Months later, Mira would look back on that night and marvel at how strange fate could be. A wrong number. A cry for help sent to a stranger. A vampire king who had forgotten how to feel. And somehow, impossibly, love. She still had bad days. Days when the memories of Tyler crept in. Days when she flinched at loud noises or struggled to believe she deserved the peace she had found. But Kieran was patient. He had 500 years of practice at waiting. And he told her, again and again, that she was worth every moment of that wait. She learned to play piano. Really play. Kieran sat beside her for hours, guiding her fingers, filling the penthouse with music that felt like healing made audible. She reconnected with Jess. With her sister. With the parts of herself that Tyler had tried to erase. She became whole again. Not because Kieran saved her, but because he gave her the space to save herself. One night, almost a year after that first desperate text, they stood together at the window. The city sparkled below them, millions of lives unfolding in the darkness. Kieran turned to her. "I need to tell you something." She raised an eyebrow. "Should I be worried?" "No. I never thanked you." "For what?" "For texting the wrong number. For being brave enough to let me in. For seeing the man beneath the monster and choosing to stay." She took his hand. "You saved me first." "No. I showed up. But you saved yourself. I just got to watch." She leaned her head against his shoulder. "I love you, Kieran." It was the first time she had said it. The words hung in the air like a promise. He pressed a kiss to the top of her head. "I have loved you since you asked me what I was and then stayed anyway. I have loved you since you burned toast in my kitchen and laughed about it. I have loved you since you looked at a monster and saw a man. I will love you for the rest of eternity." She looked up at him. "Eternity is a long time. Not long enough. Not with you." She kissed him softly. "Then we better make the most of it." And they did. Because sometimes the wrong number is exactly the right call. Because sometimes the monster is the one who saves you. Because sometimes love finds you when you least expect it. And when it does, you hold on. With everything you have. Forever. And that, my beautiful friends, is where our story ends. But I need to ask you something before you go. Did this story touch your heart? Did you feel what Mira and Kieran felt? That fear of letting someone in? That hope that maybe, just maybe, love could heal the broken places? Tell me in the comments. I want to hear from you. Tell me what moment hit you the hardest. Tell me if you have ever found love in an unexpected place. Tell me where you are watching from right now, because this community stretches across the entire world and I love knowing that these stories are reaching you wherever you are. And listen. If you watched this entire video and you are still not subscribed, I am going to be honest with you. That hurts. I poured my heart into this story. I stayed up late getting every word right. I did that for you. So please, take 1 second and hit that subscribe button. Join this family. We are the fastest growing vampire love stories community on YouTube, and that is because of people like you who show up, who engage, who believe that stories like this matter. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Like this video so YouTube shows it to more people who need to hear it. And come back soon because I have so many more stories waiting for you. Stories of love and darkness and redemption. Stories that will make you cry and laugh and believe in forever. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching until the end. You are not just a viewer. You are family. And I will see you in the next one.